Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, all depending on when you're watching. My name is Marv Fox Jr., the Purpose Recognition Coach, and we all have corners. We all have corners that we stand on, and these corners that we stand on are symbolic of what we believe in. And this is the corner that I stand on. I'm a firm believer that the mind is powerful. The mind is incredibly powerful, but the mind is no match for the spirit. The spirit is the foundation of manifestation and conversion. But oftentimes we default to this belief that the mind is more powerful than the spirit, right? Because of all of the research done in psychology, and we're the most familiar with the mind, we assume that the mind is bigger and stronger than the spirit, but I have a different narrative. Let's talk about the mind. The mind is responsible for creativity, decision making, and execution. Creativity, decision making, and execution. As we think about conversion, right, the mind starts to take in everything that it takes in, and it starts to process, and at some point it starts to create. It starts to create, and it starts to come up with these different thoughts. And with every thought carries with it a vibration, and the vibration that we focus in on the most inevitably becomes a decision. And at some point we have to convert this decision into something that is physical, that is real in the universe. We want to make sure that we are spiritually connected to our decisions. This is why, if you've made a decision, I'm assuming that it is important to you, right? And that decision should have the ability to make you feel complete or incomplete. If I am able to engage in this decision, right, it should make me feel complete. But if I feel complete and I am no longer able to engage in that decision, then I have to question whether that decision was as important as I thought it was. So hopefully you are spiritually connected to your decision and you feel complete because you get an opportunity to engage in that decision as much as possible, right? That spiritual connection will unlock the love affair with your decision. And that's where you find endurance. That's where you find commitment. That's where you find that connective tissue that when things go south, you're still engaged, you're still involved, you're still committed because you develop a love affair with your decision. And that love affair will unlock the mind, and the mind will work incredibly hard to find all the different ways it can execute your decision. So we want to make sure that we don't want to attack conversion exclusively with the mind, because although you'll find in the mind, you'll find organization, you'll find strategy, you'll also find doubt and fear. Right? And sometimes we can scare ourselves silly to the point where we never ever pursue our decisions. We don't want to pursue conversion through the heart exclusively, because sometimes we may find ourselves dangerously in love, meaning we may love the decision so much we forget to love ourselves. Or sometimes we may love a group of people that we want to work for so much that we forget to love ourselves. Or sometimes we can love ourselves so much we forget to love the collective. So we want to make sure that we balance that love affair out, because we don't want to be dangerously in love. And we don't want to pursue conversion with the spirit exclusively, because there are times when we become so emotionally charged, we become reckless. There's no love, there's no thought involved. Now we're just reckless. You want to make sure that you engage the spirit with intent to engage the entire body. The spirit, the heart, the mind, the body. I want to approach this thing at 100% capacity, not 75%, not 50%. I want to take all four elements, the spirit, the heart, the mind, the body, and pursue conversion. It's going to give me the best chance to take this idea and convert it into something that will not only be able to help me, but help my family, help my community, and help my industry. So for all of you who are always talking about you got to be mentally tough and you got to have a strong mentality, that's cool, man. Make sure you're spiritually tough, and make sure you are fully aware of the connections that you have to whatever you're engaging in, so that he will hopefully unlock the love affair that you have, as well as the mind, and the body will follow. I hope that makes sense. My name is Marv Fox Jr. I help highly ambitious and courageous people discover their purpose in two simple questions. Make sure you can, with the entire body, spirit, heart, mind, body. Marv Fox Jr.